Call the meeting to order. This is the regular city council meeting of Tuesday, December 6th, 2022. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilman Butkus.
Here.
Councilman Blair.
Here.
Councilman Carter.
Here.
Councilwoman Davies.
Here.
Mayor Gillis.
Here.
Councilwoman Harris.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin.
Here.
One present.
Thank you. We have a moment of silent prayer. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Didn't you do that once before?
We did.
Everybody awake?
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now that I know that everybody's awake, I need a motion to approve this evening's agenda.
So moved. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have an agenda. First up, we have a presentation. This presentation will be done by Councilman Carter. It is the Algonac Asset Award given to the Downrivers Goodfellows on their 70th anniversary. Councilman Carter?
The Algonac Goodfellows was founded in 1952 with the mission of every child have a Christmas. This mission was just the beginning of the assistance the Goodfellows offers, not just at Christmas but all year round. Over the past 70 years, the word Goodfellows has become synonymous with help. They are always there for those in need, whether they have fallen on hard times or they've suffered a tragedy. In 2010, the Algonac Goodfellows combined forces with the Clay Township and became Downriver Goodfellows Incorporated, a Michigan domestic nonprofit organization serving the residents of the city of Algonac and Clay Township. Due to the COVID pandemic, the Goodfellows had to change their typical operations and developed a partnership with Woodside Bible Church and Southeastern Michigan Food Bank to provide food for those in need. Since 2020, they have been able to provide food assistance to 448 local families. This partnership has proven to be very effective, and as a result, they have continued to work together to help provide food. This year's food distribution will take place on December 19th at the Algonac Fire Department. Since then, they have also partnered with Anytime Fitness and Kids in Distress to strengthen their continued support of people in their time of need. The Goodfellows on average provide assistance to approximately 100 local families each year during the holidays. They are fully funded through donations and fundraising efforts. The Downrivers Goodfellows main fundraiser, the annual paper sale, will take place on Saturday, December 10th. That's coming up. Okay, with Assistant Chief Doan and Lieutenant McCabe come up. It is with great pride that we acknowledge and celebrate 70 years of Goodfellows goodwill. We are grateful for your dedication to helping the residents of Algonac, Clay, and surrounding communities at Christmas time and for providing emergency assistance to families in need throughout the year. We thank you for not only your tremendous commitment, but also for the kindness, generosity, and all that you have done and continue to do for others. Your work is an inspiration to all. We're proud to call you one of our own. And it's signed by Mayor Rocky Gillis. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for everything you do for our community.
Thank you too, Joe.
You put me on the city meeting.
All right, next up, we have public comment. You will have 5 minutes to speak. Please speak your name and address. The council will not respond, but we will definitely be listening.
I'm Tom McCabe, live at 908 Columbia. I heard that 910 is on there for some issues. Number one, they definitely never cut their lawn. If the city doesn't come in and cut their lawn, it doesn't get cut. There's a lot of trees growing into the back of the house that definitely need to be cut out. It's falling in disrepair again. It needs to be looked at. They've cut their front lawn a matter of twice this year. And once was by them, and once was by the city. So I barely even see them out doing anything to the yard or the home on the outside. They're really never, they're there, they're just never outside. So, I mean, I got plenty of pictures I can show you of it. It's all grown up. The whole back fence line's got weeds. There's two swing sets back there. You can only tell there's one. So, and I've tried cutting some of the trees back off of my property just so I don't have issues, but I still do. A couple times I've chased raccoons out of my garage. If I don't shut my garage by the time it gets dark out, I'll end up with a critter in there. One time my wife walked out there and she says, "Freezer go bad in the garage?" I go, "No, why?" She goes, "Well, I want to go out and see if you can find anything out there." And I'm yelling at my kids because everything got knocked off the shelves. Come to find out it wasn't them. There was a possum. It was dead in a trash can. And I'm like, seriously? So, something definitely needs to be done with it. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment?
I'm Scott Lee, I live at 910 Columbia. I'm not gonna try to refute anything that he said. I know I've been lax in my duties when it comes to both my yard and property upkeep. I came in today to more or less ask for time to address it, because I have no excuse. That's more or less it. And if given the time, I will make things right, correct any issues that both my neighbor and the city council or the city deems necessary. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rocky, I'd be more than willing to give him a hand. Without doubt.
Anybody else for public comment? All right, closing. Next up, we have the city manager's report. Mrs. Gerstenberg.
Thank you, Mayor Gillis. As you know, leaf vacuuming is over, but Ontario has extended the yard waste pickup through December 8th at no additional cost to the city residents. Residents may place up to 15 bags per household at the curb. This will be the last week for yard waste pickup. An update on the school. To date, no one has purchased the school. An update on the old Sunoco at 1309 St. Clair River Drive. We are aware of an offer to purchase that has been submitted for a wine tasting venue at that location. So that's very exciting.
Thank you.
Mayor Gillis, if I could, do you have any updates on the Lathrop Street situation?
Mrs. Gerstenberg.
Thank you, Mayor Gillis. Councilman Membus, I did receive correspondence from the attorney today that I have to review.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none, let's move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of city council meetings, the city council meeting minutes, the special organizational meeting from November 14th, 2022, and the regular meetings from November 15th, 2022. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I support.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, no unfinished business, so next we're on to new business. The first thing under new business is to introduce an amendment to an ordinance of the City of Algonac, St. Clair County, Michigan, to amend Chapter 50 zoning, Article 8, Central Business District, Section 29, principal uses permitted by amending subparagraph 22. The Central Business District ordinance is designed to provide for a mix of uses in a compact setting. Currently, single and mixed-use developments containing retail, office, residential, and/or public uses are permitted in the district. It is proposed that the following two paragraphs be added to the existing ordinance to ensure that any new development also agree with the goals set forth by the current master plan. Section 50-229, principal uses permitted. All businesses shall promote development that meets the goals of the city current master plan, providing successful, vibrant, and attractive commercial centers with unique offerings, sustaining well-maintained and desirable neighborhoods, offering plentiful leisure and recreational opportunities, abundant pedestrian connections, aesthetically pleasing roads and green spaces, and serving as a destination for emerging businesses and entrepreneurs. 22D, the City of Algonac's current master plan and goals and objectives shall be considered at the time of request for permitting other uses under this subsection, including those submitted pursuant to the city's planned development district ordinance. Amendments to the zoning ordinance are drafted by the city attorney. City ordinances outline the process the city is required to follow when amendments or changes are made. For the city attorney, this process does not permit random changes, like the addition of a public hearing, where one is not required. When there is a request to amend or change a zoning ordinance, the request first goes to the planning commission for a recommendation to city council to approve or disapprove. No public hearing required. The planning commission recommendation is introduced at the city council meeting, adopted or denied at the second council meeting. The planning commission recommended adoption of this ordinance at their August meeting, August 22nd, 2022 meeting. May I have a motion?
I move to introduce an amendment to Chapter 50 zoning Article 8, Central Business District, Section 229, principal uses permitted by amending subparagraph 22.
Second.
Comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, roll call please.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair,
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davies,
Yes.
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item 11B is to introduce an amendment to the ordinance of the City of Algonac, St. Clair County to amend Chapter 50, zoning Article 9, General Business District, Section 257, permissible uses permitted by amending subparagraph 15. The General Business District is designed to provide for the same uses allowed in the Central Business District, along with a variety of more diverse, often located to serve passerby traffic, like a veterinary clinic or a dry cleaner. It is proposed that the following two paragraphs be added to the existing ordinance to ensure that any new development also agree with the goals set forth by the current master plan. Section 50-257, principal uses permitted. All businesses shall promote development that meets the goals of the city current master plan, providing vibrant, successful, and attractive commercial centers with unique offerings, sustaining well-maintained and desirable neighborhoods, offering plentiful leisure and recreational opportunities, abundant pedestrian connections, aesthetically pleasing roads and green spaces, and serving as a destination for emerging businesses and entrepreneurs. 15B, the City of Algonac's current master plan goals and objectives shall be considered at the time of request for permitting or other uses under this subsection, including those submitted pursuant to the city plan Development District Ordinance Code 50-3566. The Planning Commission recommended adoption of this ordinance amendment at their meeting of August 22nd, 2022. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to introduce an amendment to Chapter 50 zoning Article 9, General Business District, Section 257, principal uses permitted by amending subparagraph 15.
I'll support.
Comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call please.
Councilman Blair,
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davies,
Yes.
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
11C, to introduce an amendment to an ordinance of the City of Algonac, St. Clair County, Michigan, to amend Chapter 50 zoning by adding Article 6A, Algonac Elementary Overlay District. Since 2017, Algonac has been proactively seeking development of the former Algonac Elementary Schools. Many parties have been interested, but none have committed. In 2021, the City Council commissioned an architect to prepare a development analysis of the former school to facilitate its future evolution. Flexibility is critical, as the school could evolve slowly through small incremental changes or rapidly with a large-scale mixed-use redevelopment. To encourage development and to protect the best interests of the city, this proposed ordinance, section 50-180, Algonac Elementary Overlay District, establishes in broad terms a vision for the former school. An overlay is a regulatory tool that creates a special zoning district placed over an existing base zone, currently R2, one family residential, which identifies special provisions in addition to those in underlying base zoning. The proposed ordinance addresses a comprehensive collaborative review process where dynamic uses like restaurant, retail, food and beverage, entertainment, hotel, medical and healthcare facilities, educational, vocational training, offices, residential and/or public uses are encouraged. An environment that allows for a high density of overall site usage, using building design, use orientation, and abundant landscaping to minimize impacts on adjacent properties. Safe and efficient access and on-site circulation for cars and pedestrians. Flexibility in the mixture and types of layouts, building designs, and overall uses that can be responsive in changes in market demands. Active and passive recreational spaces, civic spaces, public art opportunities, and natural landscaping. The goals of the city master plan. Any proposed development in the overlay district would follow the established plan development process. And a developer would request preliminary plan approval from the planning commission, who holds a public hearing, and forward recommendations to city council to approve or disapprove. If the city council approves, the developer prepares an overlay site plan and proposed construction schedule and goes back to the planning commission for a final site plan approval. No second public hearing is required. The planning commission recommendation is then sent to the city council for approval or denial. If city council approves, the developer then begins preparing plans and specifications pursuing building permits. In addition to the PDD process, the overlay district require a mutually agreed upon developmental agreement between the city and the developers to accomplish the goals of the district. The overlay district offers more flexibility for a developer, more control for the city, and can prevent certain uses permitted that would not likely be ideal for the city. For example, currently one of the principal uses permitted on the school property is a cemetery. Under the existing zoning, it is unlikely the city council could prevent this from happening. In addition, one of the current uses permission with special conditions is an adult foster care facility. While this use would need approval from the planning commission with a public hearing in city council, it is likely that the use as a property as an adult foster care facility could be denied. This ordinance was drafted by the city attorney. The planning commission, pardon me, I lost my space. The planning commission voted this in on their meeting of August 22nd, 2022. Can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to introduce an amendment to chapter 50 zoning by adding article 6A, Algonac Elementary Overlay District.
I'll support that.
Comments, questions, or concerns?
Mayor Gillis, I have a couple comments. And I will repeat. City ordinances outline the process the city is required to follow when amendments or changes are made. The process doesn't permit random changes like the addition of a public hearing when one is not required. And it states in the ordinances under Article 11, changes and amendments, 50-625, procedures follow the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act of 125.3401. And that states, after receiving a zoning ordinance or amendment, the legislative body may hold a public hearing if it considers it necessary or otherwise required. Now, the only reason that I mention this is because I fully support this ordinance. I've read it up, down, and sideways, and it is a very good ordinance. That being said, the history of the tensions that have gone on regarding that property, I fully believe that we need to find a way to make sure that the residents understand that this is a good ordinance. Because I don't want it to end up being where, well, they're trying to put one over on us, and because it very easily could go that way if this ordinance isn't fully understood by the people in the city. And seriously, how many people will pull up this ordinance, the whole thing, and read it through? Which is why I had asked for a public hearing at both the planning commission meeting on August 22nd and one of the meetings here. Like I said, it's a good ordinance. I just wanna make sure that everyone understands that this is a good ordinance, and that's all I got.
I guess if you look at and I know that most people won't read the ordinance, but any proposed use would have to go through
Yes, I understand,
2 to planning and 1 to city council.
and I understand that.
So, I'm just stating that that's why I do support this ordinance. Anybody else?
Like I said, I think it's a good ordinance, I just wanna make sure that people understand that this is a good ordinance, given the history and the tension over that particular property. I am hoping that all the residents understand this is a very good ordinance.
Well, I guess our job as the elected body, we will make sure that we gotta push that message out there. I think that'd be would be up to us. Anybody else?
Just one comment, and that was read at one point, and that is, it's been our attorney's direction to follow, recommendation to follow procedure on the public hearing, and I'm willing to follow his recommendation.
All right. Any further? Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davy,
Yes.
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next up, we have item 11D, to approve abatement of nuisance resolution 2022-15 for 910 Columbia Street. The city attorney has requested that the city council declare this property a nuisance per city code section 34-18, so that enforcement can be initiated in the St. Clair County Circuit Court. Since 2019, numerous notices have been issued and unresolved for the following: exposed wood, missing gutters and downspouts, steps with handrails, tree limbs growing on the home roof bare wood trim, piles of debris in the yard, missing trim fascia, inoperable motor fields, open hole coming out of the home with a cover to protect from animals getting in, gutter falling away from home, no corner siding holds the front and side together finish off, open elements, torn screen, and general property managers. The city has had to hire grass contractors twice to cut the grass, which at times has been 3 foot tall. In addition, the garage west was falling, the roof caving and separating from the exterior wall. The building official inspected the garage on October 7, 2020, and ordered the garage be vacated immediately. On January 6, 2021, the Dangerous Building Commission declared the garage at 910 Columbia a dangerous structure and the garage and residence a public nuisance, granting the property owner 60 days to secure all necessary permits to demolish the garage and to address all outstanding blight issues. If actions are not completed by March 7, 2021, the code officer will begin taking action to abate the violations and demolish the garage immediately. The board authorizes and approves the imposition of liens against the property and the amount of the cost of abatement incurred by the city is permitted by the applicable city ordinance. Motion carried. The garage was finally demolished and the debris removed in August 2022. The garage was demolished by the landlord who sold the property to the current owners via land contract in 2021. However, it has been 21 months since the Dangerous Building requested a resolution of the outstanding property maintenance issues, and the issues remain. Attached is a resolution for the city council approval. May I have a motion, please?
I move to approve resolution 2022-15 and declare 910 Columbia Street a nuisance within the bounds of Code Section 34-18 and permit the city attorney to pursue abatement remedies in the St. Clair County Circuit Court.
Second.
Comments, questions, concerns?
Mayor Blair,
I'm not the mayor.
you know what, it's Christmas in the post office, I apologize, and I apologize, Mayor Gillis.
Definitely apologize to him.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I'm sure the citizen would still have the opportunity during this time before a judge does here to make, improvements to his property, and, if so, could, get with the city manager to demonstrate the improvements he has made, is that correct?
Mrs. Gerstenberg?
Mayor Gillis, Councilman Bombas, no circuit court action would be filed until 21 days, so he has 21 days right now to clean up the property.
Okay, and then he could just get with our city manager if you were, or at least show improvement.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other
Mayor
comments?
Gillis,
Yes.
I want to make sure Mr. Levy understand what we just said.
Yes, sir. Some facts are off to me as far as dates and times, especially the land contract, but I fully understand and I agree.
Please, if you have any questions, please stay after. You can ask anyone else here or our city manager if you have any questions in regards to that.
I will at a later date, once I
Okay.
confer with my wife. Thank
Just
you.
if you need some clarification, so we're on the same page. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Yes, Mayor Gillis.
Yes.
I'd like to ask for an update at our next meeting on whatever has taken place, whether it's a good amount or whether it's nothing. Please.
Mrs. Gerstenberg?
Yes, Mayor Gillis, Councilman Martin, or Mayor Pro Tem Martin will provide that.
Okay, good.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Davy,
Yes.
Mayor Gillis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next up, we have to approve the wastewater treatment plant rate study for $8,166. I just have to get caught up here, I apologize. The St. Clair County Department of Public Works currently manages the wastewater treatment plant for Elginak, Clay, and Ira. In February 2022, after managing the facility under a 1971 contract that expired in 2011, the county advised Elginak, Clay, and Ira that they would no longer wish to manage the wastewater treatment plant, and that an authority should be formed to take over operations as soon as possible. As a result, the communities jointly hired a specialist in the creation of a management authorities law firm, Fahy, Schultz, Burchett, and Rhodes, in April of 2022. At this time, the attorney has advised the municipalities to seek the services of a rate consultant. The rate study will be thorough review of analysis of the current customer base, current rate structure, current and future state revenue requirements. 3 proposals were received and reviewed by this attorney in municipalities: Stantec, PFM, and UFS. Attached is a November 24th, 2022 letter from the attorney which summarizes the main elements of each proposal and provides a recommendation with respect to which proposal would best suit the municipality's needs. It is recommended that PFM be selected because they, number 1, are willing to review agreements. Number 2, provide a thorough proposal and estimate of services that will be key to the authority as it begins operations. Number 3, are proposing a flat fee. Number 4, we're the only proposal to provide an estimate for our out of services costs, which they estimate to be no more than $1,500 in addition to the $23,000. Number 5, will give the municipalities control and possession of the final work product. Clay Township approved the award to PFM at the board meeting of November 21st, 2022. The $23,000 plus $1,500 not to exceed would be split between Elginak, Clay, and Ira. The total amount not to exceed for Elginak would be $8,166. It'll take approximately 12 weeks to complete this study. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the PFM letter of engagement for the wastewater treatment plant rate study, whose address is 558 Briarwood Circle, Suite 333, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 480 48108 in the amount not to exceed $8,166,000 and authorize the city manager to sign the proposal on behalf of the city.
I'll second.
Could we get an amendment of your motion?
Yes.
Could you amend that amount?
It's been a day.
No, I know.
8,166.
All right, any comments, questions, concerns?
Mayor Gillis?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that our township approved the contract last night.
Thank you.
Mayor Gillis, I just have one question for Ms. Gerstenberg. There was a meeting today, I believe?
Mrs. Gerstenberg?
Thank you, Mayor Gillis. Yes, Councilwoman Davy, there was a meeting.
And could you give us any updates on what happened during that meeting?
The meeting didn't have anything to do with the rate study.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a meeting to, see what our next steps were after the rate study was approved, looking on the articles of incorporation, establishing, when we were going to take over administrative services with the authority, as well as, the current employees, when they would be taken over by the authority, so.
Thank you.
Any others? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair,
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davy.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item, 11F, to approve water plant annual fire extinguisher inspections. On October 27, 2022, the Sentis Fires performed their annual inspection of fire extinguishers, which includes preventive maintenance and replacement as needed. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve the water plant annual fire extinguisher inspection, maintenance, and replacement by Centus Fire, whose address is P.O. Box 636. Looks like there's an extra in there, 636-525, Cincinnati, Ohio, in the amount of $1,560.30. Support.
Comments, questions, or concerns? Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair,
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davy.
Yes.
Mayor Gillis.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next up, we're being asked to approve fire department heaters in the amount of $9,200. There are 2 hanging heaters units in the fire department truck bay. During repair of the north garage heater, it was noticed that the gas shutoff had a leak and needed to be replaced. There are no parts available as the units are 35 plus years old. Both units are 1987 models. Three quotes were received to replace the 2 units. Climate Pros for $9,200, Holdwicks for $9,950, Granger for $12,576.91. It is recommended to purchase from the low bidder, Climate Pros. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve 2 300,000 sterling or Renzor hanging unit heaters for the fire department truck bay from Climate Pros, whose address is 9453 Marine City Highway, Fairhaven, Michigan, 48023, in the amount of $9,200.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair,
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davy,
Yes.
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next up was item 11H, to approve contract for information technology services for $36,565. Quotes were recently received for information technology service, including antivirus protection, proactive performance management, server, remote online backup, server, service contract, website hosting, online backup. It is standard best practice to competitively bid, quote, every 3 to 5 years for the following reasons. Creates a transparent environment that is open and fair, keeps costs low and ensures the most qualified company to do the work. Any company, regardless of size or annual revenue, has a fair chance, protects the public against the squandering of public funds, prevents abuses such as fraud and waste. Sometimes there's no need to change, other times there may be the best way to move on organizational forward. 3 companies provided quotes: IT Right, Grit Technology, and the Glista Group. Attached is a memo from the city treasurer and information provided by each company. It is recommended that Algonac continue service with IT Right for the following reasons. They provided the lowest bid. IT Right works closely with our software vendor, BSNA. Their main business is helping government clients maintain their IT system. They have over 350 local government clients in Michigan. They have a network of field technicians spread out throughout Michigan when issues cannot be resolved remotely by the IT help desk. The city has been pleased with their services they have provided for the past 6 years. They are in the process of adding a 24-hour call center. The current contract expired April 30th, 2022. The renewed contract is for a 3-year period beginning December 1st, 2022 through November 30th, 2025. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the proposal for information technology services to IT Right, whose address is P.O. Box 160, Bath, Michigan, 48808, in the amount of $36,565 for the period December 1st, 2022 through November 30, 2025, and direct the city manager to sign the contract on behalf of the city.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Councilman Bembas.
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Carter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davies.
Yes.
Mayor Gillis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next up, we have item 11I, to approve payment to Project Control Engineering. Project Control Engineering served as a city engineer from December 18, 2007 to December 31st, 2019. It is important for the city to have access to past plans and drawings completed by PCE. For example, these documents include what size the water main is, how deep the sanitary sewer is buried, and where the storm sewer is located. On March 3rd, 2020, the city of Algonac formally requested electronic and/or hard copies of design documents and as-built records for which PCE has been compensated relating to planning, design, and administration, survey, construction observation, and testing services for the following clause in the agreement of professional service contract between the city and PCE. Work product. Any and all work product, including but not limited to information stored with any computer, stored digitally, consisting of correspondence, plans, documents, contracts, specifications otherwise set forth in any form which relates to or involves directly or indirectly the city, shall be considered the property of the city, and the city shall be furnished as requested copies of any and all work product forthwith upon demand. The obligation to furnish such information shall continue beyond the term of this agreement. Such information shall be furnished with the city, reimbursing the engineer solely for the actual costs of duplication of such items, including employee time to perform such tasks, without any incremental charge of depreciation or other similar charges associated with the use of the equipment. PCE did not provide the requested documents on September 29, 2020. The city attorney sent a letter to PCE requesting, saying, correspondence between the parties continued until November 21st, 2022, 32 months after the first request for copies of city-owned property, when the city attorney finally received a letter and thumb drive containing several files. The city paid attorney fees total $1,782.50 to obtain city-owned property from PCE. According to the city attorney, there is no authority or statute permitting the city to seek reimbursement of attorney fees from PCE. PCE is requesting payment of the attached current and past due invoices totaling $8,566.25. The city will be reimbursed 90% of the $7,988.75 or $7,189.87 for the Stormwater Asset Management Grant. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve payment to Project Control Engineering Incorporated, whose address is 2420 Point Trumbull, Post Office Box 307, Clay Township, Michigan 48001, in the amount of $8,566.25.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns?
Mayor, just reading over this, and correct me if I'm wrong, we still are missing some documents from Project Control.
Mrs. Gerstenberg?
Thank you, Mayor Gillis. Councilman Bembas, PCE has stated that they have provided us what they have.
With what they have, okay, so then, you know, cause record keeping is so important. But, they didn't have the, road construction, water main information for Sheldon and Colonial. Is what I'm reading, and there was another one with a, what they call that, built.
Mrs. Gettysburg.
Councilman Bembas, they did provide documentation for Sheldon, Colonial, and Channelside. Typically, at the end of a project, your engineer is to provide you with as-built drawings that indicates exactly what was built, which is not always the same as what was proposed to be built. According to, the letter that we received from PCE, they did not provide or, produce any as-built drawings. So we, were only provided with the drawings that, they used to have the projects built.
And my understanding is they say they don't have that.
Correct. That is not typical. For example, we already have the as-built drawings for Orchard Street, and Michigan, and, Rapids.
Mayor, just my opinion, but it's disappointing, that we actually had to, spend money on our attorney to get items that actually belong to us in the first place.
Any other comments, questions, or concerns?
Yes, I just have a comment, and, I'm glad that this seems to be settled because it's been an ongoing issue. And it's one that hopefully now is settled to both sides' satisfaction. And I guess I'm gonna say it, I'm thanking Project Control for the work they did for us in the past.
Anyone else? Can I have a roll call, please? Oh, sorry.
Mayor, and again, not trying to be the salesman, against the current. I'd be more thankful if they gave us everything that they should have without us having to spend $1,800 of the taxpayer money to get what we should have had in the first place. And I'll leave it at that.
I would definitely concur with you, Councilman Bevis.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Roll call, please.
Councilman Blair,
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davies,
Yes.
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next up, item 11J. We are being asked to approve replacement of the water plant low service pump number 2 UPS unit in the amount of $1,423.75. The UPS unit controls a low service pump that feeds lake water to the water plant. There are 3 pumps total. 2 are always running. The third pump is unable to run without the UPS. This purchase replaces the existing 2013 UPS. The item is in stock and can be delivered in 3 to 5 days. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve replacement of water plant low service pump UPS unit from Power Techniques Incorporated, whose address is 3210 Coolidge Highway in Berkeley, Michigan, 48072, in the amount of $1,423.75.
Second.
Comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, could I have a roll call, please?
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davies,
Yes.
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item K, to approve water plant meter reading upgrade for $12,409.01. The handheld device belt clip transceiver currently used by the water plant staff to read meters is no longer working. That device model, as well as the current software used to run it, was discontinued over 10 years ago. Attached is a quote from our current Neptune service provider, Ferguson Waterworks. The proposal includes new software, a handheld device, the annual software subscription, a setup fee, and the upgrade needed for the existing laptop. This software upgrade is the first step towards moving to a cloud-based system that will ultimately allow staff to read water usage from a computer in the office. Staff will eventually be alerted immediately to high water usage events, days of no flow, and be able to obtain an accurate reading whenever needed. Staff is currently working on a phased proposal to install additional infrastructure that will automate the water meter reading process that, with city council approval, would begin next fiscal year. The automation of the process will no longer require staff to drive the entire city to collect water usage data, will make it easier to identify potential leaks, and as a result can significantly reduce water loss. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve purchase of software and a new belt clip transceiver for the water plant from Ferguson Water Works in the amount of $12,409.01.
Support.
Comments, questions, concerns? The only thing I have is I think anything that we could do to make our employees' life a little bit simpler and cost savings, I believe is a good thing.
Agreed.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Davy,
Yes.
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair,
Yes.
Councilman Carter.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. And finally, accounts payable.
Make a motion to approve accounts payable and payroll in the amount of $190,390.11.
I'll second that.
Comments, questions, concerns? Can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin,
Yes.
Councilman Bembas,
Yes.
Councilman Blair.
Yes.
Councilman Carter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davy.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mrs. Gerstenberg, items for our next agenda?
Thank you, Mayor Gillis. Right now, we would have the adoption of those amendments that were introduced this evening. We may have the audit report presentation by McBride Manley, and that's all I have right now.
Thank you. Council comments. Councilman Bembas?
Hi, December 10th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. starting at the Algonac Bay Historical Society. Is our first annual home tour, home and church tour. We've got 4 churches, 2 houses, possibly 3, and cost is $10. Kids free, service dogs free, and the funds we raise will go straight to the food bank at Trinity Church.
Councilman Blair?
Good evening all, thanks for coming. Let me give another shout out to Goodfellows. You guys do, Downriver Goodfellows does a phenomenal job, especially right here in town in Algonac. And I don't know if everybody's seen the riverfront. If you haven't, please go out and look at it. The job that our DPW and whoever did work out there, it just looks fabulous. And that's all I have for tonight, so have a good night, everybody.
Councilman Carter?
I'd also like to echo thank you to Goodfellas and the awesome track record and so many people that have been helped over the years. We are very appreciative and thank you. December 19th, Monday, 2022 at 10:30 a.m. at the Algonac Fire Department. As mentioned, there's a drive-through food giveaway in conjunction with the Goodfellows and Woodside, Downriver Goodfellows, and First Community Health. And it will be drive-through, and please come if you need assistance.
Thank you. Councilwoman Davy?
Yes, I do wanna send a shout out to the Goodfellows. I have a memory, every time I hear the name Goodfellows, of when I was 10 years old and my father had died, shortly before that Christmas. And members of the Goodfellows had taken me to Christmas shop for my 5 brothers and sisters. And that is something that will stay with me for the rest of my life. So every time I hear Goodfellows, that's what pops into my head. You guys are awesome. The robotics team, the Robo-Rats, I watched that live stream. Those kids are awesome. They were in the final rounds, and they had won the first final match. The second match, they lost the Wi-Fi signal between the controller and whatever that, and their robot just sat there. And I'm watching this and I'm like, oh no. The composure that those kids had, and these are middle schoolers, to get through that and not just go crazy and I don't know what's happening, was impressive. They ended up winning 2 out of the 3 matches in the finals. Next weekend, they are going to Macomb Community College and to the state qualifiers. These kids are awesome. If you get a chance, try to post it for the live stream to watch it over the weekend. These kids are impressive. And one last thing, and I will post this on Light Up Algonac. Jennifer Barnes, and I don't know if anyone has seen what she's been doing. She has, last time I checked, 115 kids, 50 families that she is trying to collect gifts for these kids for Christmas. And she's doing this on her own. She's not doing this with an organization. She's doing this on her own. I've spoken to her a few times. Absolutely wonderful woman, what she's doing. I would encourage everyone to look at Light Up Algonac or any of the other community Facebook groups. She has the information there to get in touch with her. She also has a Amazon wish list set up. And she wanted me to say, this isn't necessarily what she wants people to go and buy or to do it through Amazon because people might be able to get it cheaper, just to give an idea of the kind of things that they're still looking for kids. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Councilwoman Harris?
I just want to thank everybody for coming and congratulations to the Downriver Goodfellows. And Chief Joe, you're out this Saturday, December 10th, correct?
Yep.
Yep, good job out there and the town looks beautiful, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin?
I also want to thank all the good fellow volunteers for what they provide for our community, our citizens, to help them through their Christmas. I want to thank all of those who had a hand in making the Christmas parade what it was. Very successful, and seemed like everybody there enjoyed themselves greatly. And I'm also very thankful there were people that provided the animals for the petting zoo because they are a rescue group out of Imlay City, and rescuing animals and taking care of them that aren't being taken care of for themselves is so important. We think of humans, but we also have to think of our animals too. And I was grateful that they were able to do that. So, that's it.
Thank you. Well, I would like to thank everybody that was a part of Saturday evening with the tree lighting. It was, despite a few technical difficulties, it was a great event. My microphone did not work. Some kid ran through our light up Christmas tree, and DPW was fixing it as Santa and I were getting ready to light it, so that was pretty good. But we got through it all, so I think it was a great event. I'd like to thank Woodside and the Faith Coalition for bringing the live nativity back. As Mayor Pro Tem Martin said, the animals, that was a cool experience. You got to feed the camel a carrot, and they let you feed all the animals. It was a lot of fun. 299 hot dogs were given out, and 500 cups of hot chocolate were given out. So that was a lot of work for a lot of people, and I wanted to thank everybody that was a part of that. Goodfellows, I mean, there's not much everybody has said, but thank you guys so much for what you do for our community. 70 years for any group to keep going and doing as much as you guys have done is quite impressive. That being said, their annual paper sale, as everyone said, is this Saturday, December 10th. Make sure you get the best newspaper of the year. This Sunday at Trinity Church on Smith Street, they are doing their annual cookie walk. You can from 10:30 to 1:30. You could buy a cookie tin for $3, $25, and fill them with homemade goodies. All proceeds will benefit local children's literacy programs. That's a great event. December 15th at between 6 and 8 at the Algonac VFW. Henry's Club is hosting a taco fundraiser for a local family who has a 21-month-old with leukemia. 100% of all proceeds will go to the family. There will be a cash bar, 50-50 in raffles. It is just a donation at the door, so you can give $1, you can give $100. Whatever you give will be acceptable for the taco fundraiser. And I think that's all I have here in my pile. It was a long meeting. Thank you all for your attention, and with that,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Or adjourned?